Okay, so some of these don't really pull that much power. And I think this 2600 i7, it's just in that case. I mean, like, we don't need it to be in there, but what I was thinking of was pulling it out of that giant case and putting it somewhere else. They would all make good servers, better than running something like this, probably. Um, and even one of these other, this one runs about 50 watts, something like that, when it's on. I believe this one wants to pull about 250 plus, and I can't remember what this one pulls. And I think this one's about 150. I mean, you could even use something like this. I mean, it doesn't have to be super crazy fast if you're going to just do like a network um, uh, server. I haven't actually found a really good need because that one's already set up. So it has, um, I guess I installed it incorrectly in the, well, I installed it the way I would probably want to do it, which is it's got 8 terabytes. But I guess it should be like, where they call mirrored and striped or something like that. I don't know where. I'm not worried about backing up any of this stuff because this stuff's already backed up on another computer as far as like music files. Um, but anyway, the only thing I can see where that could be an issue is like, well, if you have like a lot, maybe one of these can't access it fast enough. Because this thing does have 2 processors in it. So, but I haven't really found a need to have that running all the time. I guess if I was like streaming music on a small little PC playing into a stereo, then I guess I could see that point. I don't watch movies, so I don't need that. So it's just strictly like music and maybe a place to save like pictures and stuff that I take with the camera, photo stuff. But we've got these 2 Corsairs over here. They're both pretty old. Like 2014. A Z87 and a Z97 motherboard with an i7 and an i5. So that's a 4790. That's a 4570. Like almost very similar numbers. I guess if this was the i7 equivalent, it would be a 4770 or something, maybe. This one's, I don't know if you can really tell the difference between them, like doing anything. But what's cool about them is they really do work good. I think, we'll see a lot more stuff like this probably popping up in the dumpsters, even though it's really good stuff. Even by today's standards. It's because Windows is making it to where like you can't do anything with it. You can't put the TPM module in these ones. They're too old for whatever the other hardware reasons. So I don't know what year they started to do that. Probably 15, 16, 17, somewhere around there. But this one here has all my music on it. And it's hooked to the stereo. So I really don't know what I would do with a network server. I do have another stereo in here that actually has Wi-Fi. Up here is a Pioneer. At one point in time, I bought 2 of these, and they were like, one was the elite version of this, and it never worked right. But anyway, yeah, this one does have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. And it can be plugged straight into the network. So, I mean, I could do that with that one, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm trying to find ways to use these things so they're not just sitting. So, I just thought I'd make a video about it. You guys could share your thoughts on what you think. What would you do? I have quite a few old computers. And a lot of them I just kind of bought because they were really cheap and have been putting parts together and take one thing out of another thing and, that kind of stuff. This is a case that I bought. This was a motherboard that I bought that was just in a box, and it's a Z370A Pro that somebody upgraded, and they just basically donated that board in the new box, which is around here somewhere. I don't know what I did with it, but so that was just a board, and then the power supply I bought like a long time ago for another project, which is a pretty big power supply, 8800. It's it's a bronze 80. I didn't know that. Okay. I don't know why people worry about these numbers a lot, but the people that I do talk to, they talk about those ratings a lot. So, anyway, that's not a bad one, I guess, apparently. For a while, I thought it was making noise into my radio stuff, but anyway, this is just kind of a cheap one, but what I do like about this one is I don't need caddies or anything weird. The drives just slide in there. There's a massive amount of cable to hide, and this case is too short to come up to the top. In fact, I can't even put fans in it because it's in the way of the RAM. So, I just have a bunch of stuff that, like, mix and match and, kind of play around with it. And, right now it's just kind of, this was my extra case that I had for a long time that I had been hanging on to because it had a product key on it. And I went to go try and use the product key like 6 months ago or something after having it for a couple years. And I realized you can't use it. It's a CyberPower pre-built computer. And because it's pre-built, it's an OEM license. And it means it has to match the exact hardware that it was licensed to. So somebody donated this particular case with just this and 4 broken fans. So I think there might have been... No, that was it. That was all that was in it. And I don't remember what I paid for it. $12, $7, something like that. So, anyway, let me know your thoughts on what I should do with what and what you would do. This is a DDR4. I label everything i5 8400 because there's too many of them for me to keep track of. This one's a really old one, an i5 3330, 2.6 gigahertz. I generally lean towards the most efficient computers just because I can run the entire shack out here off of the solar, the inverters over there, and I've got another backup over here. So the less power I'm drawing is usually the better option. Plus, when you have if you've got like 4 or 5 of these things going, and they're all pulling 100 watts, or more, it's like running an air conditioner all the time, And some people never shut their computers off, but I do. Like I've got one there that's just for this radio. I shut it off. That's the only thing this computer does. And I tried to use these little stream computers, and on Windows they choke. And the problem is I need to run a certain software that's got to run on Windows, so I don't have a choice. So this is another one that's not bad. This is the Z87. No, this is the Z97. That's a 4590. 4590. I think I have 2 of the same. 4590. No. Yeah, the 4590 is the i5, and this is the 4790. And they're both Z97s. So the 90 seems to mean something, and the 70 seems to mean something. Because I think the 70s are all Z87s. It's hard to tell, but I've seen enough of them now to where I'm like, there seems to be a numbering scheme here. So anyway, this is the one that had those really terrible ATI 5450 cards in it. They were dual. I took them out. Anyway, that's it for now on the computer stuff. I'm trying to get some radio stuff done, and did a little portable today, and whatnot. So I'll kick back and try and do some computer stuff, I think.